And here now with more is the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. I, for the life of me, his own wife accused him of wife beating. We know he was an MS-13 gang member. We know he should be deported. We know he never should have been in the country legally. What is this obsession? Well, Chris Van Hollen has to meet with his BFF and have a final goodbye. Why are Democrats putting the safety of their own citizenry, the people of this country, over the so-called rights of people that did not respect our laws, borders, and sovereignty? I'll never understand.
I don't understand it either, Sean. And in fact, let's not forget that Abrego Garcia also solicited minors, children, for naked pictures, for pornography. I mean, he's a sick individual that's known to be a terrorist and a human trafficker. And these Democrats and liberals stand beside him. They sing for him. They chant for him to be released so that he can perpetuate more crimes on our communities. It's just overwhelmingly these woke activists will be rejected and they will not be elected or supported by the American people, because I'm out on the streets every single day with our law enforcement officers. I'm out there talking to individuals and meeting with victims of these crimes, and they're so thankful that they have President Trump in the White House. They're so thankful that they have a president that's finally enforcing the law and putting American citizens first, not terrorists like Abrego Garcia.
Well, let me ask you about this truck driver that killed 3 in Florida. I mean, came through the sanctuary state of California, got a commercial driver's license in California and Washington, barely can speak English, doesn't read road signs when he got tested immediately after the death of these 3 innocent Floridians. And my question is, why aren't these people the governors of sanctuary states, the mayors of sanctuary cities? How are they not held accountable? How is Biden and Harris and Mayorkas, they told us the border's closed and secure. How are they not held accountable?
Yeah, they will be, absolutely, because they had a president before that was leading the way and giving them cover to break any law that they wanted to remake their state so they could guarantee the next election and guarantee their power. But now we have a president that cares about the average American citizen who gets up every single day and goes to work. And his message is resonating with the American people. People finally have some justice in their lives. They can walk down their streets and be free. Here in Washington, D.C., it's like a whole different world because of what President Trump has done. And so the American people are feeling freedom again. I think they lived under the oppression of Democrat rule in so many of these cities. They forgot what it felt like to actually be free and to be safe. But now, for the last 11 days in D.C., people are feeling different, and they recognize what America used to be, and they want it back permanently. So these Democrat governors, they need to wake up because the people in their communities and in their cities recognize how they've threatened their way of life, and they're not going to take it anymore.
Secretary, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.